Hey, in today's video, we're going over the long-term care decision. At retirement, at your federal retirement, what do you do about long-term care? And this is just one decision out of 10. We've got a new book, Your FERS Federal Retirement, the 10 decisions that could make or break your retirement. All 10 of them are crucial. You can't mess any of them up. In today's video, we're going over the long-term care decision. My name is Mel Stubbs. I'm a financial planner with Christy Capital Management, where we're helping federal employees plan for a better retirement. In today's video, I've got financial planners Joe Matthews and Tommy Neesmith alongside. We're going to discuss the long-term care decision.
That's that of long-term care. And this is something that comes up a good bit in conversations as we talk to people. So I'd love, Mel, for you to kind of dive into this and kind of set us up. And what do our viewers need to be looking at and thinking about as it relates to long-term care? And then, Joe, maybe some experiences that you've seen working with people over the past several years.
Yeah, so the first thing that some people talk about, I'm self-insured. And just so we can, I guess, be clear, if you got enough money that you think you can pay for it on your own, that's great, but you've just assumed the risk. Instead of giving the risk to an insurance company, you've assumed it, but the risk is still there. But you will have a federal pension, Social Security, maybe spouse's Social Security. You'll have some guaranteed income coming in that can go towards long-term care if you need it. You've also got assets, hopefully TSP, IRA, that type stuff. Then we've got long-term care insurance, and we also have life insurances that can be properly structured to carry. It's a chronic illness rider that acts like long-term care. So we're going to go over some of those details.
And so as we talk about long-term care and we talk about life insurance, those life insurance keeps coming up. And so if we could, over the next few minutes, can we kind of look at some of the benefits of each and kind of see how they stack up against each other? And so, Mel, if you want to take the long-term care policy and talk about premiums.
Yeah, I'll take long-term care, you take life insurance.
Okay.
So on the long-term care, a lot of people are getting the federal long-term care. I think that's been paused where they're not letting you do it now. You can't sign up now. But with the long-term care policy, premiums do change over time. And so that is one thing to keep in mind. I think the last time the federal had a big price increase, I think it was like 86%. It was a large jump, big jump. So it's a little bit hard to budget when you don't know how much it's going to cost into the future. So does life insurance give you a different option?
Yeah, so with the life insurance, they have something called the premium guarantee on the policy. You pay a small cost for that, but the grand thing about that is that you can control the cost on that policy throughout the lifetime of that policy. So it puts you in control of cost, and that's very important.
Yeah, that's good. And so as far as underwriting goes, how does that work with long-term care? And Joe, how does that work with life insurance?
Well, life insurance, of course, you've got to go through underwriting and get approved. And it's not as heavily underwritten as traditional long-term care. Traditional long-term care is the underwriting on that is pretty strict. And so with life insurance, it is less strict as far as through the underwriting process.
That's good. So maybe some potential benefits as you look and you compare the two between each other as it relates to underwriting, and then as you look at how all this stuff gets reported to the insurance companies, whether it be long-term care company or insurance company. Mel, what are some ways between the two that we can share with everyone?
Yeah, with the long-term care policy, they have what's called a reimbursement. So you have to get receipts. You've got to pay for the different things yourself, get receipts, turn them in, and you hope that you get paid back. Some of the ramps and additions on your house, some of those kind of modifications aren't always covered. What's good about the life insurance is they have what's called indemnity. Now, who knows what that means? But what this means is they figure out, the life insurance company figures out how much you qualify for, and they cut you a check. And so now you are a cash buyer, and you can go put the ramp on your house if that's what you want. You can get somebody to come to your house if that's what you want. You've got cash money, you spend it like you want to. Can you have leftovers? I guess if you're wise with it, you could have leftovers. But the big thing is you don't have to keep up with receipts. You don't have to hope and pray that they pay for it, and then you find out they don't. You've got money up front, and that tends to work better.
Well, man, with this endorsement, does that cost anything?
Yes and no. How's that answer? It depends. The way the life insurance works, remember, you're getting a life insurance policy. So maybe you're getting a $200,000 death benefit, and this is your premium. The premium stays the same, and that's what you're getting. Now, in the policy, there's a chronic illness rider that says if you can't do 2 of the 6 daily functions, you would then qualify. And guess what? That's the same thing life insurance does. You got a 2 of 6 daily functions, you'd qualify there. And so at that time, they will tell you, this is how much we will send you. Depending on your age, they discount it some. So you don't get the full amount, it's a little bit discounted. And so in my mind, that's when I'm paying for it. They're going to subtract a certain number, let's say $25,000 from the death benefit, and maybe they send me $20,000. In my mind, that's when I'm paying for it. But you're only paying for it when you need it. And if you think about it, anywhere else, you like get in a car wreck and then you call up the car insurance company and say, hey, can I sign up for insurance? And they say yes, and you don't get to do that. But in this case, you're paying for it if you need it. If you don't need it, then in my mind, you're not really paying for it.
Yeah, well, that's good. Last thing on this piece as we kind of wrap up this decision point, what happens to long-term care? You've been paying on it all these years and you pass away and you don't use it. What happens in that case?
Yeah, it's kind of like the survivor benefit option we talked about earlier. So you paid all these premiums, and if you pass away and you don't use the long-term care, then all that money just goes to the insurance company, Tommy.
Yeah, and so how is life insurance different?
Remember, life insurance is life insurance. You bought it for the death benefit. This is just kind of an added piece. If you need it, it's great, but if you don't need it, then it's still life insurance. Somebody's going to get paid out. There will be some benefit gotten from you getting that policy.
Yeah, that's good. Great conversation around long-term care. Obviously, we can't answer everything and dive into every little nuance. Make sure you pay attention to long-term care. I'll add lastly, over the past couple of years, and Mel, you briefly touched on this, we get calls and emails all the time from clients that we work with whose long-term care policies they bought 20 years ago. The rates are just going up at increases that we've never seen before. And it's something to look at. I think it's a great planning piece. And you being an educated consumer, realizing what you're getting for what you're paying for, I think this is a good first start in that 7th decision or key thing that you need to look at as a federal employee.
Hey, well, there you have it. I hope that discussion on that decision was helpful. It comes from our new book going over the 10 decisions you have to make at retirement. It's available on Amazon. There should be a little QR code here. Make sure if you want to go more in detail, you want to reach out and get it, make sure you do so. If you need individualized help, you want to talk to us, feel free to do so. Right up here, there's going to be another video that's important to your planning, so make sure you check it out.